All right. We're on. All
Well
right.
said.
Thanks. Good evening. I'm Michelle Rehill. I am the chairperson of the Library Trustees. I'm calling the meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. And to make it official, I will read the following announcement. This open meeting of the Library Board of Trustees is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of June 16th, 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. All members of the Library Board of Trustees are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows the Library Board of Trustees to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. For purposes of attendance, Mitch Cohen,
Mitch Cohen, aye.
Mary Crowley,
Mary Crowley, aye.
Jim Hogan,
Jim Hogan, aye.
Nita Karanjkar,
Nita Karanjkar, aye.
Charles Recchia, not here. Joan Scott,
Joan Scott, aye.
Richard Tucker,
Richard Tucker, aye.
and I'm Michelle Rehill. I'm also here, and we also have with us Jen Bruno, the library director. For my official opening remarks this evening, no, we've already done it. Welcome, Mary Crowley. It's great to have you on the Board of Trustees. We've had time to introduce you to all of the other trustees, and most of whom you already knew. But thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. And my other comment that will be relevant later on is I believe that we sent out an incorrect report or an additional report. So when we get to the library director's report, please make sure that you are referring to the one that says October 2021 at the top, please. All right. So that was it. We will now move on to approval of the minutes from the September 14th and the July 13th meeting. We will do them as separate items because combining them would just be one more motion and a roll call. So you know what I'm saying. I slept late this morning and I lost all my words. All right. Does anyone have any questions or any comments on the September 14th, 2021 minutes?
Yes, on the September minutes, it says that we approved the July minutes. And we did not, right? Because we didn't have the July minutes. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I did call for a motion to approve the minutes and how many times did I read that? And we had to pass it over because I was the only one who had the minutes. So we need to amend the September minutes to say that because the board had not seen the July minutes, we voted to pass over. I think that was it. Did we have to take a vote to pass over it?
Third. Okay,
No,
that
I
was
think-
that was confusing to get into the minutes and anyway, okay. So
Yeah.
so we're going to tell me what we're going to do here.
I'm going to see if I can find last month's. Did we vote to pass over them?
I don't think you voted. I think they were just
Yeah.
deferred.
All right, so we just say, amend the September minutes to say that the board had not seen the July minutes and no vote was taken at that time.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
okay,
You could just say discussion of the meeting minutes of July were tabled.
Right, that's what you need to say.
Yeah, you don't
Good.
need to provide a reason, just
Right.
what you did.
Discussion of July minutes were tabled. Thank you, Mitch.
just a
All right.
minute. Okay, got it.
All righty. So with that amendment to the September minutes, are we ready to move on to vote to approve them? Or are there any other questions about the September minutes? Hearing none. Would someone make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 14th meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of September 14, 2021 as amended.
All right, do I have a second?
I second that.
Was it Nita?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Oops. All right, the roll call vote. All those in favor of accepting the September 14th, 2021 minutes as amended? Mitch Cohen.
Mitch Cohen, aye.
I'm going to say Mary Crowley, and Mary Crowley, you have to say, I abstain.
I abstain, I know.
Thanks.
I'm a trustee then.
Jim Hogan,
Jim Hogan, aye.
Nita Karanchkar,
Nita Karanchkar, aye.
Joan Scott,
Joan Scott, aye.
Richard Tucker.
Richard Tucker, aye.
I also vote aye. The motion carries in the affirmative with one abstention. Now let's go way back into our memory for the minutes of the July 13th meeting. Are there any comments or questions about that? If not, I will accept a motion to approve the minutes of the July 13th, 2021 meeting. If anyone would like to make that motion.
I'll make the motion to the July 13th, 2021 meeting.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. I will now do the roll call. For the approval of the minutes of the July 13th meeting, Mitch Cohen,
Mitch Cohen, aye.
Mary Crowley,
Abstain.
thank you, Jim Hogan,
Jim Hogan, aye.
Nita Karanchkar,
Nita Karanchkar, aye.
Joan Scott,
Joan Scott, aye.
Richard Tucker,
Richard Tucker, aye.
and Michelle Rehill also says aye. Motion carries in the affirmative with one abstention. All right. Moving on to the appropriations report. Are there any questions or comments from anyone?
Did we receive the appropriations report?
I did not see it.
It's
I
at
think-
the end of the second attachment that was sent. It should be there.
It is the right one there. Let's see.
Yes,
Okay.
the director's report at the beginning of that second attachment is September, but everything else is October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
didn't
I
see
will get this
anything.
100% correct at the next meeting. I promise you.
Gonna hold you to that.
Please do. This is
On record.
I have to say, I was able to bring it up on my iPad and look at it, but I was not able to bring it up on my laptop and print it out, which I normally do for the meetings. So I don't understand why that is true, but I mean, I was able to read it on my iPad and everything was fine as far as I can see, but I do like to have it in paper copy. And it just didn't, I had to get out a lot of stuff this time. For some reason, I don't know why. But it just didn't, it wasn't easy for me this time.
Might need that Geek Squad again. All right, so you did read it online. You didn't have any questions or concerns at the
No, I
time?
had I had no concerns, no.
Okay. Looks like we're pretty much on target for the year. So unless anyone has any questions or comments about it, we will move on to the library director's report. And remember, it is the one that says October at the top.
I have a new SMART goal to send you all the correct attachments
All right.
and to fix the fiscal year 21 appropriations report on the agenda. It should be 22. I just saw that. Did anybody have any questions about anything in my report?
I'll comment that I love all the data about all of the, particularly the electronic resource usage and things like that. Wonderful to see, and it'll be interesting to watch over the long term. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it'll make it easy to see the results of any marketing that we do of the databases, or even just making purchasing decisions. So yeah, I'll keep including it every month.
Great.
And I thought I thought the numbers were pretty impressive, actually. All things considered, I mean, pretty impressive. Nice job, I think, by the library staff.
I would concur with Jim.
Yeah, they do a great job. And even though, yeah, the door counts are certainly not back to pre-pandemic levels, but the use of the library is still pretty high. Higher, definitely higher than I would have guessed before looking at the data. So.
And do you see the program participation also going steady, right?
Yep, that's steady right now as well. And we will begin in-person adult programming this month with some of the job seekers programs. So we're interested to see how that affects attendance.
You guys have done a great job. Kudos to all the staff. It's not easy. It's not easy.
No, they've been so great throughout this whole thing. Very flexible, very creative. Yeah, it's been great.
Actually, I do have one other question. Overdrive is Libby, correct?
It is. Yeah,
Yes,
Libby
yeah,
is the
right.
name of their branded app.
Yep. And what is Overdrive Advantage relative to Overdrive without the advantage?
So the advantage to Advantage is it's a curated collection from Northborough specifically. So if you have a Northborough card or you live in Northborough, you basically skip to the front of the line if we own the title in our Advantage collection. So right now I'm buying things that have the most, and there's a way to look at the data and see how many holds a specific title has by Northborough residents specifically. So I can kind of go through and look and see where the lines are really long. And then we'll buy an additional e-copy, and then that just kind of skips everybody forward. So they'll get our copy first. So it's been cutting down on the long waits on some of those more popular fiction books.
As a user, do you have to know that, or it just happens behind the
Just
scenes?
happens.
It's by magic.
there is a way to go and look and see specifically what Northborough has in its Advantage collection, but generally, if you're just using the Libby app, it just looks at your card and says, oh, okay, you have this and it's available. So it goes from something like, 56 weeks to like, here, it's available right now.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Nice.
That explains it. I put myself on reserve for things, and then suddenly it's like, I'm not even going to see this year. It's going to be like sometime next summer. I might have it for summer vacation. And then all of a sudden I go, hey, wait, I'm going to have it in 4 weeks. So,
Yep.
thank you.
Yep. That's why.
I have a question about the meeting rooms.
Hmm.
So we're booking them again, which is great. Patrons must be masked,
Mhm.
like the Lone Ranger.
No, the other half of their face.
Are we doing, are we, even though they're masked, are we limiting the numbers? Are we doing social distancing at all, or?
It is not, no, not necessarily. The groups themselves seem to be kind of handling that and managing the size of their groups. I don't know that we've had any huge groups ask to use the library meeting room yet. But we discussed with the Board of Health and didn't think that we needed to reduce the occupancy.
Okay, great, thanks.
Good. Thank you for mentioning that. You talked to the Board of Health.
Yep. And I will still, if I might mention, I just thought of this, we're still kind of discussing food in the meeting room, because that would obviously require people to take their mask off. So I'm inclined to say no food at this point, but we haven't made a firm decision on that yet.
Any other questions about the director's report? Any other comments? If not, we will move on to the new business, which is the Long Range Planning Committee Action Plan Update. That would be you, Mr. Hogan.
We've been consulting with Jen, and we did the strategic plan, and that was submitted on time and on October 1. And now the action plan, which is the concrete way in which we intend to implement the goals that we set out in the strategic plan, has to be submitted by December 1 to the MBLC. And Jen and the staff are working really hard on getting a really good draft of this plan ready, which they're going to send on to the Long Range Planning Committee late October, perhaps even early November. And we have promised to process it and vet it very, very quickly. And then we will have it, we'll pass it on to the full board meeting at a November meeting with an appropriate recommendation, just as we have done in the past. So we're looking forward to doing this. We're looking forward to seeing the plan. I'm sure it's going to be exciting and it's going to be great. And so we're looking forward to doing that. And we're going to, given the time frame, we are going to do this as quickly as possible. Anything, Jen, anything further?
Nope, just that right now we're at the point where each department is sort of working on their own to come up with goals based on the results of a staff meeting that we had, or a managers meeting that we had last week. And I did want to ask the board if you have any specific goals that you would like included in the action plan. And I think specifically the last goal, which relates to the financial stability. I know that there was some talk about some kind of a formalized giving policy. So I didn't know if there was part of that that you wanted to attack this year, or if there were other goals from certain subcommittees that you were hoping to see in this year's plan.
My thought is that we would, I think that's a good point. And my thought is that maybe we'll take a look at what you have, prepared. And then in terms of giving program, that is one of the responsibilities of the Long Range Planning Committee. And we can maybe take that up at a later date after the action plan. The main thing right now is to get the action plan completed and get it submitted. And then maybe the committee can, after that, start looking at a giving plan and see where we go with that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
I don't know if it makes sense in the plan, excuse me, the plan we're discussing or not, but the sort of the long-term space allocation of the building and how things would be moved around. I apologize for your hearing my phone yell at me in the background, but there's nothing I can do about that.
And that, Mitch, would be an interesting conversation that the two committees could have. Your committee and the Long Range Planning Committee. That would be a really nice conversation for us to initiate. Thank you. That's a good idea.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
we
definitely.
did a lot. Sorry, go ahead, Jen.
Oh, I was just going to say what I might do is earmark both the giving plan and a long-term space allocation plan as like a general part of the action plan, just to keep it in our mind that we want to put some work into that in the next year.
Good idea.
I would agree. It's important to always have those present in whatever you're writing.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions or comments? Any great ideas today? If not, we will have come to the end of our agenda almost. The next meeting. So again, long range planning has to meet.
Could I make one more
Oh, yep.
comment? Yeah, just a brief. The Mass Library Trustees Association annual meeting is Saturday, and I will be attending, and virtually on Zoom. And I did send out an invitation. So anyone else who wants to attend, I encourage you to do that. However, the theme of the meeting is going to be what we learned from the COVID experience as libraries. So I will be listening very carefully, and I'll put together a summary of what I gather from that particular meeting, and I intend to send it out to Jen so that she can distribute it to the library staff, trustees, and I'll send it off to the offices of the Friends as well, so that we all have an opportunity to see what other libraries throughout the state have learned through this horrible COVID experience. So that's on Saturday, 10 to 12, Saturday the 23rd, 10 to 12. So I'll
I'm
be doing
signed
that.
up. I'm signed up for that also. So
Great.
I'll take some notes too.
And you know what I'll do then, Joan, is I'll, when I've done my notes, I'll forward them on to you, and you can massage them with your own, your own notes and your
Okay.
thinking, and then we can put a joint, summary out to the group. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Great.
All right, thank you. Any other comments, questions? The next meeting is going to be on November 9th. That's a Tuesday at 7 p.m. And then any other business that may come before the board. Oh, yes, and it's a reminder that the Long Range Planning Committee will have to set up something fairly quickly so that we can have it ready for the November 9th meeting. So just a reminder to us. And
We'll do that.
okay, thanks, Jim. Any other business? No other comments? I thank you all for being flexible and meeting tonight on a Thursday, allowing us to reschedule. I appreciate that you could all be here. Again, welcome to our new trustee, Mary.
Thank you.
And if there is no other business, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn. Don't make Mitch do it.
What I'm waiting for.
I make that motion.
Hey, I'll second.
Hey, thank you. All right, I will do a roll call. All those in favor of adjourning the meeting at 7:27-ish p.m. Mitch Cohen,
Let's go and I.
Mary Crowley,
Aye.
Jim Hogan,
Jim Hogan, aye.
Nita Karanchkar,
Nita Karanchkar,
Joan Scott,
Joan Scott, aye.
Richard Tucker,
Tucker, aye.
and Michelle Rehill. The chair also says aye. The motion passes unanimously in the affirmative. So we are officially called, adjourned at 7:28
Don't mess up
p.m.
my motion.